What are your thoughts on those two guys?
Who was the second one?
The two linebackers, Amari Bernie and Gather.
Yeah, I thought Bernie did a really good job. I thought he was physical, coming downhill, made some plays in zone coverage, breaking. I mean, you can see the strides, and we just got to keep, he's got to keep doing that. But it was a really good first game for him. And then Amari did a really good job. He's a physical, pretty looking linebacker, man. He can run. He just needs more reps at linebacker. He's played all over the place in college. Once he gets his feet settled playing off the linebacker, he'll give himself a chance.
Coach, how did you feel the kickoffs and the kickoff returns went? I know it's first game that you guys got to see out on the field. I know there were some kickoffs that didn't land where you wanted. And what are you trying to see out of the kickoff in the preseason as compared to maybe what we're going to see in the regular season?
Well, one, with our kickoff returns, we wanted to get every return possible. So, yeah, we could have probably taken the knees of some of those in the end zone, but we want to give our guys a chance to showcase their return ability, and we made some plays on some. With the kickoffs, obviously there's, 2 or 3 there kicks that Daniel, I know, wish he had back, and we all did, but, that's a part of it that you're watching throughout the league. We're all learning and growing. I think the opening kickoff, if you guys are really paying attention, our guys line at the 45 and they're at the 40. The officials are all off, so it took a minute for everybody to kind of get their sorts underneath them, but you've seen everybody pretty much be vanilla in the preseason with the kickoff and how they're attacking on kickoff return. I think the key part for us is just seeing our guys run down the cover and who can make space tackles.
Jackson Powers Johnson and Kolton Miller, 2 guys that have been on the PUP list throughout training camp. I guess, do you have an update on those guys? And realistically, how long of a ramp up do you think they need to be ready to go for week 1?
Yeah, well, Kolton Miller's been working out on the side. Jackson's been doing the same thing. I'm really hoping. I mean, don't hold me to it. I'm hoping it's after this week. I don't see it happen during the week, but I'm hoping after the Dallas game we get those guys back.
Antonio, obviously exhibition game, so it's more about just seeing the reps and seeing how guys react. But at the end, taking those timeouts, what was kind of your mindset in taking those timeouts at the end of the game?
Yeah, lesson learned. I mean, we talked about it. Thought maybe something that will play out a little differently. If I could do it over again, probably would.
Ask you, in your experience, are there certain players who are better geared for games and practices, or like game players versus practice players? And how do you weigh that in as a coach when you look at guys in terms of evaluating their skill set?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that showed up yesterday that, hadn't been doing so well in practice, and they put the pads on and they play at a different level, but that's not pro football. Pro football is doing it in the meeting rooms, the walkthroughs, and practice, and that's the way you build trust and accountability with your teammates and the coaches, to put you out there. You're not going to ever get to game day if you don't do it right in practice. So it's great that some of those guys did that yesterday in the game, but if they can't do it throughout the week, you can't trust them to put them out there on the game.
Coach, going back to the timeouts you talked about, how much of a learning experience is that? Like, how valuable is that for you, especially as a younger coach, to have game situations where you can find things that you can learn from?
Well, I think it's just all of us. Matt Sheldon, who helps out with game management and situation. I think all of us need to go back and evaluate it. It's a preseason. There's things that we want to do differently in the preseason that we do in the regular season. That was one example there.
AP, you always hear in the preseason age, just the preseason, especially on good points of the game. Let's not get too excited. How do you weigh whether it's good or bad? If something that you think you need work on, but also I have to say, well, it's only the preseason. How do you weigh those things, and how do you apply that to yesterday's game?
Yeah, I mean, we had objectives for every unit, right? Special teams, offense, defense, and then team objectives. I thought in the first half we did a pretty good job of hitting all those. I thought our special teams throughout the entire game was physical. They competed, effort. We had some explosive plays. Obviously, AJ boomed a couple balls, flipped the field for us. Daniel had a big-time field goal there that helped us as well. 3 big returns there. We had a block field goal. So a lot of good things on special teams. Offensively, when you look at the 2 quarterbacks and what they're able to do, both guys, contributing and putting us in scoring positions. I thought our O-line did a good job in that first group of just really protecting the quarterback, getting off the rock, what we talked about. Defensively, the negatives is the run game. I mean, we harped on that all training camp. It hadn't shown up, and just gap integrity and things I talked about earlier need to show up. But I thought our secondary, Trayvon, Jack Jones, Marcus Epps, JB, all did a really good job in their reps.
All right, Coach, that's it. Thank you.